For 30 years the world had been left in the dark. After the death of Red Skelton, a beloved comedian who made millions laugh, there were many stories, rumors, and unanswered questions surrounding his life, his relationships, and his legacy. Despite all the attention Red Skelton received during his lifetime, there was one person who had remained quiet all these years. His wife, the woman who had shared so much with him, the one who knew him better than anyone else, had stayed out of the public eye. Her silence only added to the mystery surrounding their relationship and the rumors that swirled around Red's life. Now, 3 decades later, she has finally decided to break her silence. This announcement, after so many years of secrecy, immediately captured the attention of the media and the public alike. Why now? Why after all this time? What made her speak out when she had previously remained so quiet about the rumors and speculations that had followed her husband's passing? The curiosity surrounding her decision to finally speak is palpable. Was she waiting for the right moment? Did something trigger her need to reveal the truth now, or did the passing of time allow her to reflect on things differently? It's clear that this decision was not made lightly. Her voice was the missing piece of a puzzle that fans, friends, and even critics had longed to complete. Now as she speaks up, the entire narrative shifts, and everything that was once based on hearsay or imagination will have to be reconsidered. In the silence that followed Red Skelton's death, many fans had their own theories. Some claimed to know the truth behind the rumors, while others felt that certain stories would always remain hidden in the shadows of the past. Yet despite all the attention, one thing remained certain: his wife had never publicly acknowledged any of the whispers. The longer the silence continued, the more people speculated about the reasons for her reticence. Was she protecting Red's legacy, or was there something darker at play that she didn't want to reveal? As she finally speaks out, this long-awaited moment forces everyone to stop and listen. What could she possibly say that would change the way the world views Red Skelton's life and career? The thought of her breaking her silence has left many wondering, what secrets could she be hiding? What has she known all along that the rest of the world hasn't? Her decision to finally talk about the rumors doesn't just mark an end to her silence, it marks the beginning of a new chapter in the story of Red Skelton. For so long he had been the subject of stories and speculation, but now his wife's perspective will shine a new light on the man behind the comedy. She was there, she saw it all, and she understood the complexities of their life together. There's a wealth of untold history in her experience, and now at last she is sharing it with the world. The decision to speak is not just a personal choice, it's an emotional one as well. For all the years she stayed out of the public eye, there must have been moments of grief, reflection, and perhaps even frustration. After so many years, she may have found the courage to address the things that had been weighing on her heart. The public had been asking questions, making assumptions, and imagining stories, but she is the one who truly holds the answers. The curiosity around her reasons for staying silent for so long now leads to an even deeper curiosity about what she will reveal. Her words have the power to break open a narrative that has been set in stone for decades. People who have followed Red Skelton's career may now find themselves questioning everything they thought they knew about the man, his personal life, and his legacy. What will her voice add to the story? What new perspectives will she offer? Will she shed light on the truth behind the rumors or leave some mysteries still unresolved? The public is left on the edge of their seats. The anticipation of what Red Skelton's wife has to say is growing by the minute. The silence is broken, but what comes next is the most intriguing part. Will her revelations bring closure, or will they spark more questions? Only time will tell, but one thing is for certain: Red Skelton's story is far from over. It is being redefined by the very woman who loved him the most, and her decision to speak now will forever change how the world remembers him. For as long as Red Skelton's career spanned, his personal life was never far from the spotlight. Red's humor and charm made him a household name, but alongside his fame there were always whispers. It seemed like people were always trying to figure out what was happening behind closed doors. His fans adored him, but they were also curious about the man behind the laughter. However, as much as Red's public persona was carefully crafted, his private life had its own set of stories that seemed to follow him everywhere. These stories were the rumors, the things that people said when they thought no one was listening. The rumors about Red Skelton didn't start yesterday. They had been around for decades, circulating in Hollywood and among his fan base. Some of these rumors were harmless, others more serious, but all of them seemed to stick to him in a way that nothing else could. The longer the rumors hung around, the more people began to believe them, and the more uncertain it became whether they were true or not. Some of the things said about him were almost laughable, while others left people scratching their heads, wondering if there was more to the story than what was being shared publicly. There had always been this cloud of mystery surrounding his life, especially after his death. His fans, some of whom were close to him, spoke fondly of him, but they also had questions. Was there more to Red Skelton than anyone knew? The rumors only got louder when Red passed away. They didn't stop after his death. In fact, they seemed to grow even more powerful, like they had been waiting for an opportunity to come to the surface. And the most frustrating part was that no one seemed to know the real truth. It was all speculation, theories, and unverified stories. The rumors were not just whispers among the public, they were discussions that reached far beyond the entertainment industry. People were curious about his relationships, his financial situation, and especially about the secrets of his personal life. Why did he choose to live a relatively quiet life after his peak? What was his marriage like? Was everything as perfect as it seemed, or was there something darker beneath the surface? These questions lingered in the air, unanswered and unresolved. What made the rumors even more persistent was the fact that no one directly addressed them. No one came forward to say, "This is the truth." As Red's wife remained silent, the stories continued to grow. There were people who claimed to know the truth, others who spread their own version of events, and then there were those who just added fuel to the fire. The more time passed, the more these rumors took on a life of their own. They became part of the narrative, part of the mythos surrounding Red Skelton's legacy. When someone famous passes away, people tend to look for a reason, something to explain the life they lived and the choices they made. The public always wants to know the details. When it comes to Red Skelton, those details were always shrouded in mystery, and without anyone to confirm or deny the rumors, it seemed like the truth was just out of reach. It was as if Red's personal life had become a puzzle, with pieces missing and no clear way to put them all together. People who admired Red were often caught in a tug-of-war between the man they loved on television and the questions they had about the person behind the screen. They didn't want to believe the rumors, but they couldn't shake the feeling that there was something more to his life that wasn't being revealed. What was it that made Red Skelton's life so intriguing? Was he really the perfect husband and father? Or was there something hidden in the shadows that only his wife could explain? This is where the curiosity really began to grow. The longer the silence stretched on, the more people wanted answers. They were eager to know what was real and what was just the result of wild speculation. Red Skelton's wife had been the one person who could provide those answers, but for years, she chose not to speak. As the years passed, some people began to forget about the questions altogether, while others became even more convinced that there was more to the story than anyone knew. Even though Red Skelton was no longer here to defend himself or confirm the rumors, the questions didn't go away. The truth was still out there, and people were desperate to hear it. His wife's decision to stay silent only made the rumors grow in size and intensity. If she had chosen to speak, perhaps many of these rumors would have been put to rest long ago. But instead, she remained a quiet observer of the stories that unfolded in the wake of her husband's death. Now, with her decision to break that silence, everything is about to change. The rumors that have haunted Red Skelton's legacy for decades may finally be addressed. People have wondered for years whether his personal life matched the image he projected in front of the camera. Were his relationships as perfect as they seemed, or was there more to the story? Now the question on everyone's mind is simple: what did Red Skelton's wife know, and why has she kept it hidden for so long? Her decision to speak out is not just about revealing the truth behind the rumors, it's about unraveling decades of speculation and filling in the blanks of a life that was once shrouded in mystery. The curiosity surrounding this moment is immense, and the hope for answers is finally becoming a reality. As Red Skelton's wife steps forward, the world will no longer have to guess about the things that have lingered for so long. The truth is finally within reach, and it's only a matter of time before the rumors that have lasted for decades are either confirmed or completely debunked. For 30 long years, Red Skelton's widow kept her silence. It wasn't just a year or two of quiet reflection after her husband's passing. No, it was an entire 3 decades. During all this time, rumors swirled around Red, his life, his relationships, and the events that followed after he was gone. Yet, despite the noise and curiosity, she remained silent. The public continued to ask questions, and the media kept speculating, but she chose to stay away from the spotlight. This silence only added to the mystery, as everyone wondered, why did she choose to remain quiet for so long? What was it that kept her from speaking? And why now, after all these years, did she feel the need to break that silence? The decision to stay silent for 3 decades is itself a mystery. For a widow who had been through so much grief, loss, and the inevitable changes that come with the passing of a loved one, her choice to remain quiet spoke volumes. For many, the silence seemed like a protective measure. Perhaps she didn't want to relive painful memories or expose too much of her personal life. Maybe she believed that keeping quiet was the best way to honor her husband's legacy and avoid the rumors that would inevitably follow any public comment. But for some, the silence only fueled more curiosity. People began to wonder, was there something she was hiding? Was there something about Red that she didn't want the world to know? The more she stayed silent, the more the public's curiosity grew. In the years following Red's death, it became clear that there was an appetite for answers. His fans, the media, and even people close to him wanted to know what was really happening behind closed doors. Were the rumors true? Was there something to the stories people whispered? And why didn't Red's wife, the one person who could clear up all the confusion, speak out? For some, the silence became a puzzle they couldn't solve. Every time a new rumor surfaced, people asked the same question: why didn't she speak up? It wasn't as if she didn't have the opportunity. She could have said something at any point in the 30 years following Red's death. She could have sat down for an interview, written a memoir, or even made a public statement, but she didn't. Instead, she stayed quiet, and that silence kept the world guessing. The longer she remained silent, the more speculation grew. Was it a deliberate choice to protect something? Was she hiding something from the public? Or was there simply a deep personal reason why she didn't feel the need to speak? This 30-year silence became a part of the story of Red Skelton. People started to talk about his wife's refusal to speak, and her silence became almost as famous as Red himself. Some speculated that it was out of respect for his memory, others felt she was waiting for the right time. But whatever the reason, her quietness created an air of mystery. And as the years passed, the question that lingered in everyone's mind was, what would it take for her to speak? It wasn't just the public who was curious. Friends and family of Red Skelton also wanted to know more. They had seen him up close, shared moments with him, and they wondered if there was more to his life that they didn't know. His wife had the answers, but she had chosen not to share them. Perhaps she was still grieving. Perhaps the pain of losing him was too much to talk about. Or perhaps she was simply waiting for the right time, the right moment when she could finally share her side of the story. In all those years of silence, there was always the nagging feeling that something was missing. Even as Red Skelton's career continued to be remembered and celebrated, his personal life remained a mystery. People wanted to know the truth, but for 30 years, there was only one person who held the key to unlocking that mystery, and she chose to keep it locked away. Now, after 30 years, that silence is finally being broken. But why now? What has changed? What made her decide that it was finally time to speak after all this time? The curiosity is almost unbearable. What has she been holding back all these years? What did she know that no one else did? The weight of the silence has been lifted, but the questions remain. People are eager to know what her perspective is, how she saw things, and what she has to say about the rumors that have persisted for so long. Perhaps, after all these years, she feels ready to share the truth. Perhaps she feels that now is the time to offer a final chapter to a story that has been filled with unanswered questions. Or maybe, after 30 years of reflection, she has reached a point where the truth is no longer something she needs to keep to herself. The fact that she's speaking now only adds to the suspense, making everyone wonder what she will say. Her decision to speak after so long also gives people hope. Hope that the long-standing questions will finally be answered, hope that the mysteries will be solved, and hope that they will finally get a glimpse into the life of Red Skelton that they've always wanted to understand. It's a moment that many people thought would never come. But now that it has, there is an undeniable sense of anticipation in the air. What she shares will likely shape the way people view Red Skelton forever. The rumors that have been floating around for so many years could either be confirmed or completely debunked. The mystery will finally be unraveled. But the curiosity remains. Why wait 30 years to speak? What changed in those 3 decades? Why, after all this time, did she finally decide it was time to break her silence? For decades, Hollywood was captivated by the story of Red Skelton. His infectious humor and timeless performances made him a household name, but behind the laughter, there was always a sense of mystery. This wasn't just the mystery of his on-screen characters, it was the mystery of his personal life, the things that went on behind the curtains that the public couldn't see. As Red Skelton's fame grew, so did the gossip surrounding him. And as the years passed, the stories became more exaggerated, more complicated, and more mysterious. The truth of what really happened in his personal life was always just out of reach, and as time went on it seemed like the public would never truly know the full story. But now, after so many years of rumors and gossip, Red Skelton's wife is about to reveal the truth. For years, Hollywood had been buzzing with speculation. People whispered about Red's relationships, his behavior off-screen, and his private struggles. Many of these rumors were harmless. They were the kinds of things that people talked about when they didn't have all the facts. Some were more serious, hinting at secrets that Red may have been hiding. These stories were spread by sources who claimed to know what was going on, but no one could confirm them. There was always a sense of disbelief that something so private could be hidden for so long. And while many people assumed they knew the truth, the reality was far more complicated. No one knew the full story, except for Red's wife, the one person who had seen it all firsthand. What made the rumors so captivating was not just their subject matter, but the fact that no one could say for sure whether they were true. People talked about Red's personal life in hushed tones, speculating about his relationships, his financial troubles, and his dealings behind the scenes. There were whispers about his marriage, about his health, about the people who had come and gone in his life. Some claimed to have seen things that the public never got a glimpse of. Others spread rumors of affairs, family disputes, and even allegations that questioned Red's true character. The more time passed, the more the gossip turned into something of a legend. It was no longer just about the man, it was about the mystery that surrounded him. The question on everyone's mind was always the same: what was the truth behind all the stories? Red Skelton's wife had the answers. She was the one person who could put an end to the rumors, who could set the record straight. But she chose not to speak. As the years went by, the gossip only grew stronger. Each new rumor seemed to add to the confusion, and with every passing year, the public became more and more eager for clarity. Was there something that Red had kept hidden from the world? Was there something his wife knew that no one else did? People wondered whether she was protecting him, shielding him from the truths that might hurt his legacy, or whether there were darker reasons for her silence. Her decision to stay quiet only added fuel to the fire. The longer she remained silent, the more the rumors seemed to gain power. The public began to imagine all sorts of scenarios, filling in the blanks with their own ideas of what might have happened. Was Red Skelton really the kind and lovable man he appeared to be on TV? Or was there more to the story? These were the questions that people wanted answers to. And now, after so many years of waiting, Red Skelton's wife was finally speaking out. The truth that she is about to reveal could change everything. For years, Hollywood had been fascinated by Red Skelton, and the rumors had taken on a life of their own. Now, with her first-hand account, the truth will be exposed. The question everyone has is, what will she say? Will she confirm the gossip that has lingered for so long, or will she completely disprove the stories that have haunted Red's name? People are on the edge of their seats, waiting for the answers that have been kept hidden for so long. It's not just about clearing up the rumors, it's about understanding the man behind the comedy. Red Skelton was beloved for his humor, but he was also a complex figure with a private life that was never fully understood. His wife is the only person who truly knows the truth about him. The stories that have been spread over the years will either be confirmed or dismissed, and for many people that is a huge deal. These rumors have shaped the public's perception of Red Skelton, and his wife's revelations will either bring peace or challenge everything that people thought they knew. As she speaks out, the public will get a glimpse into the personal life of a man who was loved by millions, but was also the subject of constant speculation. It's hard to imagine what it must have been like to live under such a microscope for so many years. But now, the truth will be told, and it will be up to the public to decide what to believe. The gossip that has shocked Hollywood for so long will either be confirmed or put to rest, but either way, Red Skelton's story will never be the same again. The curiosity surrounding this moment is immense. After so many years of wondering, the public will finally have a chance to hear from the one person who truly knew Red Skelton. What she has to say could change the way people view him forever. The rumors that have persisted for decades will either be debunked or validated, and the world will finally know the truth behind the gossip that has shocked Hollywood for so long. For so many years, the world has speculated, wondered, and created stories about Red Skelton's life. His career was full of laughter and joy, but his private life remained a mystery. People had endless questions. What was Red really like behind the scenes? What was his marriage like? Was everything truly as perfect as it appeared? His wife, the one person who could have answered all of these questions, remained silent for decades. That silence was both frustrating and fascinating to the public. Fans, friends, and even the media were left guessing. trying to fill in the gaps, creating their own version of Red's life. Now, after 30 years of quiet reflection, she has chosen to speak. But the question that everyone is asking is, what does she want the world to know? Why is she speaking out now after all these years of silence? What has changed, and what is it that she feels the world needs to hear? This is where the curiosity grows, because the answers she gives could completely change the way people view Red Skelton and his life. Her decision to speak is not just about telling stories from the past, it's about revealing the truth about who Red was, who they were as a couple, and what really went on behind the closed doors of their home. There has been so much speculation over the years, so many versions of the truth that people have believed. But now, for the first time in decades, the world will hear it directly from the person who knew him best. What is it that she wants to make clear? What is she hoping to reveal? For many people, these answers will not only clear up the rumors, but will provide a deeper understanding of Red's life and legacy. It's not just about clearing his name or protecting his image, it's about showing the world the real person behind the comedy. Red Skelton was beloved by millions, but he was also a complicated individual. His wife has always been the one person who truly knew him, and her perspective on his life is something that no one else can offer. One thing that she is sure to discuss is the idea that people often saw Red only for his comedy, but they didn't fully understand the person behind it. His humor was his shield, his way of coping with the ups and downs of life. But behind that shield there was a man with his own struggles, his own fears, and his own private battles. People didn't see that side of him, the side that only his closest loved ones would know. She wants the world to understand the full picture of who Red was, not just the part that everyone saw on television. There is also the question of their marriage. Over the years there have been countless rumors about Red's relationship with his wife. Were they happy? Were there struggles? Many people assume that a famous couple's life is filled with nothing but joy and excitement, but the reality is often much more complicated. Red's wife may want to show that their relationship, like any other, was full of both highs and lows. She may want to share how they supported each other through the hard times, how they laughed together during the good times, and how they managed to make it through the challenges that life threw at them. It is also possible that she wants to share the truth about the rumors that have followed Red for so long. For years the public speculated about Red's personal life, and those rumors shaped the way people thought about him. Now his wife has the opportunity to tell her side of the story, to set the record straight, and to share the truth about the things that were misunderstood or falsely reported. She may want to reveal the things that were kept hidden out of love or out of respect for Red's privacy. In doing so, she will finally answer the questions that have been asked for so long. Another thing that may be important for her to discuss is the idea of closure. For many fans, Red Skelton's death was a moment of sadness, but also of unanswered questions. The rumors surrounding his life left people with a sense of unfinished business, a feeling that they would never fully understand the man behind the performances. By speaking out, Red's wife is offering the closure that so many people have been longing for. She is allowing them to see the full picture, to understand the man they admired, and to finally know what really happened behind the scenes. But more than anything, she likely wants the world to know that Red Skelton was a man of depth. He was more than just the funny faces and jokes that made millions of people laugh. He had a complex, multifaceted personality that deserves to be understood and appreciated. She may want to show that he was a loving husband, a caring friend, and a dedicated artist who gave everything to his craft. For her, Red was not just a celebrity or a performer, he was a person with all the flaws, strengths, and complexities that every human being has. Her decision to speak now is not just about answering questions, it's about giving people the opportunity to see Red Skelton as he truly was. There have been many people who have only seen the surface, who have only seen the public, Red, the comedian, the entertainer. But his wife has the chance to show the world the private Red, the man behind the laughter, the husband behind the headlines. She has the chance to reveal the truth, and that is something that people have been waiting for. As she speaks, people will listen closely, eager to hear what she has to say. Will she confirm the rumors? Will she tell a different story? What will she say about Red's life, his struggles, and their relationship? The world will finally get the answers that have been kept hidden for so long. The curiosity surrounding this moment is intense. For 30 years people have been asking the same questions, and now at last the answers are within reach. The truth is coming, and it's coming from the one person who knows it all. For years, Red Skelton's legacy has lived on through his work, the laughs, the sketches, and the unforgettable moments that made him a beloved figure in Hollywood. But Red was more than just a comedian, He was a man with a unique vision, someone who touched the hearts of millions. And now, with his wife finally breaking her silence, there is another layer to his legacy, one that will be shaped by the truth she shares. For so long the world only knew Red through the lens of his public persona. Now his wife has the opportunity to give a deeper, more personal perspective on the man behind the jokes. The question on everyone's mind is, what kind of legacy does she want to preserve, and how will her words change the way the world remembers Red Skelton? As Red's widow, she holds the key to preserving the most important aspects of his life, the things that went beyond the public eye. She's not just talking about the performances, the laughs, or the accolades. She's talking about the things that mattered most to him as a person. It's those private moments, the quiet acts of love, and the struggles that no one saw that are part of the real legacy she wants to preserve. And now, after so many years of silence, she's finally ready to share that with the world. In her words, the world will learn about the parts of Red Skelton that were never made public. People will understand the person he truly was, and how he made his mark not just on television but in the lives of those who knew him best. The laughter he shared with the world was important, but there was also much more to Red, things that only his closest loved ones knew. His wife's decision to speak now is her way of ensuring that the true essence of who he was doesn't get lost over time. She wants to make sure that future generations understand the man behind the comedy, the real Red Skelton, who brought so much joy into the world but was also deeply human, with his own flaws and challenges. This part of the legacy is crucial because it will give people a fuller picture of who Red really was. For too long he was only seen through the lens of his public appearances. Fans loved him for his humor and wit, but they didn't always understand the complexity of his life. Now, as his wife shares her side of the story, people will get a deeper, more intimate understanding of what made Red Skelton such a special person, not just a performer but a loving husband, a thoughtful friend, and a man who had his own set of struggles and triumphs. Red's legacy is also about the impact he had on the world around him. He didn't just entertain people, he inspired them. His humor was a way of connecting with others, of making them forget their worries, even if just for a little while. His wife is now in a position to tell the world what that legacy really means to her, and what it meant to Red. Through her words we will gain insight into how Red's work was shaped by his personal experiences, and how he used his comedy to deal with the difficulties in his life. The way he made people laugh wasn't just a career choice, it was a coping mechanism, a way of sharing his own struggles with the world in a way that was both lighthearted and meaningful. But it's not just about Red's professional achievements. His personal legacy is just as important, and that's what his wife wants to highlight. Red was not a perfect man, but he was a man who loved deeply and lived fully. His wife's perspective is a vital part of the story because she saw him in ways that no one else could. She lived with him, shared in his joys and his burdens, and now she has the chance to preserve the parts of his legacy that are often overlooked. By speaking now, Red's wife is also ensuring that his true character is remembered. There have been so many rumors, so much gossip, and so many misconceptions about Red over the years. His wife's decision to speak up is a way of cutting through all that noise and making sure that the world understands who Red Skelton really was. She doesn't want the false stories or misunderstandings to overshadow the truth. She wants his legacy to be remembered accurately, with respect for the man he was, both on and off the screen. It quotes clear that this isn't just about clearing up rumors. It's about preserving the full story of Red Skelton's life, one that includes not only the public performances, but also the private moments that defined who he was. She wants to make sure that people remember Red for the right reasons, for the kindness he showed, the laughter he brought, and the impact he had on those who were fortunate enough to know him personally. The legacy she wants to preserve is one of love, resilience, and humor. It's a legacy that recognizes both Red's public success and his private challenges. It's about showing the world that Red Skelton was a man who gave everything he had to his art, but also to the people he loved. Through her words, she will make sure that this aspect of his life is never forgotten, that the world sees the whole person, not just the comedian. As she speaks, people will listen, not just for the facts about Red's life, but for the feelings, the emotions, and the memories that shaped him. This is a chance to connect with Red in a way that goes beyond his public persona. It's a chance to understand the heart of the man who made so many laugh, and it's a chance for his wife to ensure that the world remembers him for who he truly was, not just who the rumors said he was. Her decision to speak now is an important step in preserving Red's legacy. It's a way of ensuring that the truth is told, and that future generations can look back on Red Skelton not just as a legendary comedian, but as a man who lived a full and meaningful life. It's a legacy that will live on, thanks to the love and dedication of the woman who shared it with the world.